Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is so good to see you. I hope you are doing well on this fabulous day. So, I have a little bit of an update for you. Remember, I told you about, it was part of the message a few days ago. I think it was like 2 days ago. It was part of the message. In the message, we were talking about how you want to set it and forget it. You want to is basically what we were talking about, because I used the example of I'm growing some more plants. I'm getting back into a little bit of gardening, and I started the seeds that day. Actually, was it that day or was it the night before? I think it was the night before. It was the night before. I had started. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. I had started some seeds. I put them. I'm doing the germination method where you take a sealable container, like a Tupperware container, and you take a piece of paper towel, a damp piece of paper towel, put your seeds in between the paper towel, put it in that container, seal it, and put it in a warm, dark place, and allow the seeds to germinate. And in the message, I was saying, Eric, you got to leave those alone. It's going to take about maybe 3 days, before they even start to do anything, and there's nothing you can do to make this happen. You just got to let nature do its thing. So going in there and checking it every 5 minutes is probably not going to help, right? Well, I'm very happy to say that night, actually, I made a pact with myself. I'll check it in the morning when I get up in the morning, and then I'll check it when I get home from work at night, just to see how we're progressing. And so I got home from work that night, the day of that reading. I got home that night from work, and lo and behold, one of my Count Dracula peppers had popped. And so now 2 days later, 2 days? Yeah, this is the second day since then. They're all of them. So I'm growing peppers again. For those of you that are new, a few years ago, was it last year? A few years ago, I did a pepper project, and I grew 13 different types of peppers. It was so much fun, and then I made hot sauce out of it. But this time, I've been feeling the bug, so I just wanted to, and I don't have much space anymore, so I chose 2 different types of peppers. We're doing jalapenos, and we're doing Count Draculas, which are so cool. If you've never seen a Count Dracula pepper before, Google it. The plant is gorgeous, and the peppers are so cool, and they're hot and delicious. But anyway, I am happy to announce that all of the seeds, I think except for 2, all of the seeds that I have started germinating are germinating. And the coolest part about it is that, it's not, sure, okay, great, woo, it's not that exciting, it's nature doing its thing. Of course, I'm very excited about it. But the coolest aspect of all of this is the night that I actually put the seeds in the container to start the germination process. That night, the very first dream I had, and it was so clear and so vivid, the very first dream I had was me looking at the box and seeing that the seeds had already started. Well, the seeds had started to germinate. And I remember saying, holy shit, they're germinating already? Whoa, that's awesome. Lo and behold, they started germinating within a day, 333 on the counter, within a day of me putting them in that box. And sometimes, especially with peppers too, sometimes the hotter they are, the longer it takes the seed to germinate, the longer it takes for the plant to grow. Well, actually, really, I want to say the longer it takes the seeds to start. Because once the seed germinates, then the plant grows on its own. But sometimes it takes those seeds. Like, I remember during my pepper project, I did Scotch bonnet peppers, which are some of the hottest peppers out there. Of course, there's also like scorpion peppers and all that, but Scotch bonnets are pretty brutally hot, right? And they're typically used in Jamaican food for jerk sauce. Oh, and that's part of the reason why I was growing them. Anyway, sorry, sidebar. Anyway, the Scotch bonnet peppers, those took, I want to say, a month. It got to a point where I was like, damn, I guess these seeds are dead, because I bought the seeds from Amazon, okay? So I was like, maybe these were some not so good seeds. But nope, sure enough, eventually they popped. So I am very happy. I'm very happy to report 444 on the counter that we're going to have peppers again. But it has quickly become way out of hand and way overwhelming, because I did 5 Count Dracula peppers, and I think it turned out to be like 11 or 12 of the jalapeno seeds. Now, the Count Draculas are rare, according to this company. So they only give you 12 seeds in a package. So I did 5 of those, and I still have 7. Yeah, I still have 7 left. And I did maybe like 12 of the jalapenos. I have 9 jalapeno plants and 5 Count Draculas now. So I'm like, shit, I don't even really have all the space for this. I need soil. I need pots. Okay, slow down. The seeds just hold on. You'll get there. But yeah, it escalated very quickly. But I am very excited. 555 on the counter. I am very excited to be starting peppers again. It's gonna be fun. And so, okay, here's the really cool part though. You have to look up the Count Dracula pepper. Okay, it is a gorgeous plant. The plant itself is purple, and then the peppers, which are about medium size, eventually grow to be about medium size. They start out like a deep purple, so they look almost black, and then they ripen to a rich blood red, like crimson red. Hence the name Count Dracula. And then the jalapenos I planted apparently are 5 color. So as they go through their ripening process, and they start dark too. Normally a jalapeno would be green, but these are mixed with something. They're probably a hybrid mixture of jalapenos, a crossbreed between jalapenos and maybe like Chinese 5 color, because I did buy Chinese 5 color seeds from them in my previous cycle. So that actually might be what these are. But they go from a deep purple, like the Count Draculas, and then they morph through all these 5 different colors until they end up at red. So between the Count Draculas and then the 5 color jalapenos, we're going to have some really colorful gardening stuff going on here. I'm very excited, if you can't already tell. All right, kids. Sorry, enough of story time. Let's get into today's message, yeah? Very grateful. Very grateful. Because the other thing about it, sorry, I'm still going on. The other thing about it was I kind of felt like I was cursed a little bit because I was trying to grow other things and it wasn't working. Just wasn't the right one. Okay, here you go. Hi, Spirit. Please make me a clear channel for the collective at this time. Please bring forward the best messages to serve their highest good and the highest good of all involved. Please clearly tell us what it is we need to know, show us what it is we need to see, and enlighten us to that which it is we need to understand so that we may be empowered to live our best and highest vibrational lives. Thank you so very much, Spirit. All right. Empress. Okay. There's no immediate message coming through. It feels kind of blank in here right now. Huh. Just kind of like, yeah. Okay. There is a lightness in the air, in the collective, collectively speaking. There is a brevity, even. There may be some dark humor floating around here or there. There may be some moments where it's just like you remember how grave your situation may be, or how serious it is, or how much it sucks, or how painful it could be, or like whatever it is you're processing. You may have moments where you remember that, but I feel a lightheartedness in the air, and I feel like you are able to bring a level of lightheartedness. So even though, some of the specific circumstances of what it is you're dealing with may suck, I feel like this is very similar to last week when we reached the end of the week and I was like, okay, we've reached the bottom of the barrel. You remember that? That feels similar. Well, we are going into the weekend. So I guess that could be a part of it. You can finally, okay, I get that. You can finally relax. You can finally let go. You can release. You don't have to be so, you can lighten up, loosen up a little. We have the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. And what I'm getting with this Eight of Cups is an energy of finally I'm hearing finally setting something free for someone. Finally actually walking away from something you may be, especially with, because I'm being reminded of the Five of Cups that came out yesterday. And it's interesting because yesterday for me was a super emotional day. And I really had to work hard to face. Perfect. That's exactly what we were talking about yesterday. I really had to work hard to face what I was feeling and consciously keep myself from sinking into that energy. And I remember there were a few moments where I still slipped a bit and my mind went off. I mean, my mind, and I remember sitting in this moment and experiencing what was going on in my head. And part of me being like, God damn, Eric, where did this come from? That escalated quickly. Like, what the fuck? And it was all just a product of the low vibrational energy that I was processing. But instead of just doing the alchemical work to process the energy, I slipped into it a little too deep by accident. And well, not really by accident, because it helped me. I recognized it. And so then I worked to pull myself back out of it, which was actually a good exercise in the moment. Very effective. But, yes, that's what we were talking about yesterday, that Five of Cups. Well, I did that yesterday, and it was a challenge. All day. I had anxiety. I had this pit in right up here all day long, and it felt like anxiety. I'm like, why am I so anxious? Why am I so anxious? And there were moments in the day where I was processing the emotions, and I did kind of start to cry a little bit. And then later on that night, I'm at work, and I'm still feeling this anxiety. And at one moment I was processing things in my head and it's like, God, I really feel like I want to cry right now. And I was like, oh, that's what that pit has been here. That feeling has been here. That anxiety. I've been needing to cry. Oh. And as soon as I recognized it, because I was really trying, what is this anxiety? What is this feeling? I needed to cry. And so later on, I believe I did allow myself to cry at some point. It was a dry cry, though. There were no tears or anything. 1313 on the counter. So this is you walking away from those emotions now. Being able to walk away from them, having granted, assuming you have processed them, which I believe you have. That's what this is symbolizing. That I'm literally seeing you walk away from all this emotional stuff now, all this emotional baggage. Being able to move on. That's good. What's going on for the collective? Confirmation right there. Queen of Cups. Look, there you go. There's the emotional processing at hand. Right there. Okay. So now your advice also, should you, because, okay, maybe some of you are kind of feeling like you're on the outside standing on the outside looking in. That's so funny, on the outside looking in. Because the Queen of Cups is on the outside looking in right now. But somebody here is kind of feeling like, feels like they're being left out somehow. They're watching this message, they're receiving this message, and they're experiencing a little bit of FOMO. But the only reason you're in a position to be on the outside looking in is because you're just not doing this work. That's what we're doing in here. We are processing our emotions in here, my friend. You are welcome to join us, but you are going to have to do the heavy lifting. 444 on the counter yet again. But then also, the Queen of Cups, really, this is on the outside looking in type of energy, but this is a good thing. This is outside perspective, right? This Queen of Cups energy here, this work, this alchemical work, if you will, is me going through my process yesterday of managing and dealing with and processing my emotions from the outside, from kind of an outside perspective, looking in, but then slipping into it and experiencing the ruckus and the chaos that comes with sinking into these feelings and emotions and this low vibrational energy and thought pattern, and having a moment where outside of myself, I was like, holy shit, I know where I am. I see what happened here. I can pull myself out of this. Get it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Clearly. Just gonna stop it. Oh shit. Y'all. This is going to change everything for you. Looky here. This is a perfect example of how when you are solid mentally, emotionally within yourself, you are a dangerous person. Nobody can manipulate you. When you are emotionally stable, emotionally mature, and emotionally strong, nobody can disrupt your peace. Queen of Cups. Oh, and you also become a very dangerous individual. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, the Tower. Oh, overall energy is the Hermit. You become a very dangerous woman or man. Very dangerous. Because false structures can no longer stand in your healed presence. When you are healed, when you are stable, when you're balanced, when you know yourself, when you have processed your feelings and processed your emotions, you can become solid and stable, but also skilled at riding the waves, because the waves are never going to stop. But you can keep your balance. You've mastered that, actually. So anything that is false cannot stand, is destroyed effectively. The Hermit is at the bottom of the deck. Oh my God. Are you ready? This is the energy at the bottom of the deck for you. The Hermit, the Six of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Pentacles, talk about solid, and the Fool. The Fool and the Six of Cups, technically, but I'm not taking the Six of Cups out because you're taking a leap of faith away from the Six of Cups, away from the past, away from the memory, away from the previous programming, and becoming much more solid in who you are. And this is how you learn about who you are, by standing in this vibration, this energy, the Hermit to the Queen of Cups. Self-reflection, self-awareness is how you become solid in who you are. I want to look at this Tower. What's going on with the Tower, Spirit? Ten of Cups, Four of Wands, Hierophant, Three of Cups. This is a celebration. This might be an engagement or a marriage or a level of commitment. This could be internally. This also could be externally. I do feel like it's something that starts internally, because what I'm seeing with the Tower is something pretty disruptive, but I don't necessarily want to call it destructive. it's not necessarily destructive. I mean, in this case specifically, what I'm feeling for this moment right now, it doesn't feel, it feels, honestly, it feels more constructive than destructive. The tower E aspect that it represents here is more of like a suddenness. All of a sudden, boom, we've got this like huge commitment being made. 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Hierophant, that's some marriage shit. Especially with the Queen and the King of Cups having come out here. Now, the way that I'm looking at it on the table, they are facing away from each other. Oh, hold on a second. My cat wants to go outside. Okay, so I was saying, I do recognize that these two are facing away from each other right now. But you know what? And I was gonna say, I don't know if it's like the traumatized or the wounded part of me that's kind of like that feels like I have to take note of the fact that they're not looking at each other right now. Like, is that the traumatized side of me? Probably. But also I'm seeing it differently now in that, of course, I mean, but then I was saying to myself, okay, yeah, okay, that might be true, Eric, but she's staring into a cup. Like, obviously she can't be looking at him if she's staring into the cup. Okay. But then it's like, all right, yes, that's true also. But then at the same time, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, these are like psychic individuals. These could represent psychic ability, telepathy, whatnot, whatever. I absolutely could see the Queen of Cups still being able to fully communicate with the King, even though she is staring intently into the cup. You know, she's still aware. She can still, okay, so that's fine. Whatever. I don't know why I felt so compelled to share that part, but there you go. Now, also, I was saying before this, I do feel like there is a level of internal energy that's going on here between the balance between the Queen and King of Cups that is ultimately creating a change in your life externally with the Tower. Okay. And then that is going to be reflected somehow in some sort of celebration, because 3 of Cups is an overall energy here. This is clarifying the Tower, along with the 10 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the Hierophant, in which I'm seeing a big commitment, right? This 3 of Cups in this situation looks like a celebration. And it looks like the celebration of 2 people coming together. You have these 2 individuals here with this third one right here. In this moment, it kind of looks like this third person is cheersing to these 2 for their union, we could say. Very interesting. All right, just because I'm curious, let's wrap this up with a little info on both the Queen and the King of Cups. So we've been talking about the Queen. Let's talk about the King first. Yes, let's do that. King of Cups. Show us anything, advice. Ooh, the High Priestess. Whoa. Okay. Also, there's something else I wanted to say about the King of Cups in terms of the fact that they're not looking at each other. I do need another one. And that is the fact that, hold on, let me get this card. King, there we go. Okay. So she's staring into the cup and he's kind of staring outward, like leading the way, driving the ship while she's kind of like fueling the situation. Okay. That's what I wanted to say there. Wow. Okay. So the King of Cups is clarified. Oh my goodness. Okay, now, all right, cool. Okay, I'm sorry. Queen of Cups now, please. Queen of Cups. Yeah. Oh. Wait. Okay, give me a second to break this down. All right, so I am seeing this as a union within yourself because I'm seeing the energies of the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups working together for you, which is then creating great change in your life. Okay? Now, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Queen of Swords. Okay? And so what I'm getting with this is with you doing this internal work with this Queen of Cups energy, you are, as I was saying, getting to understand, getting to know yourself better, and are able to put yourself in a 555 in alignment or a vibrational alignment that better suits you, that is more related to who it is you are and what it is you want. And as a direct result, the more that you go through this introspection, the more and more you can stop being defensive, tear down walls, change patterns of behavior, break down barriers, not be so defensive anymore. In some cases, it's as simple as that. Like not have to be so defensive anymore because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and it's non-negotiable, Queen of Swords. You know what happened here. You know what you experienced. You know what you went through. You also know what you've learned. Ain't nobody can tell you shit now. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Because you, at this point, will have done enough work to heal and process these energies. So you don't need to rely on any sort of validation from somebody else. It is non-negotiable. That is excellent. Right? So now the King of Cups, right? That's your internal expression with the Queen of Cups. Your external expression is the King of Cups, which is clarified by the High Priestess, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Talk about psychic awareness. Let's just throw that out there. Between the King and Queen of Cups and now the High Priestess, absolutely in tune with your intuition, in tune with your higher self. Okay, in tune with the universe, absolutely. That's excellent. High Priestess to the Ace of Swords, to the Ten of Wands, clearly understanding where the burdens lie and allowing your intuition and higher self to guide you through that. And I just noticed this as I was explaining this, we have another representation of counterparts, the High Priestess and the Hierophant. Remember, the Hierophant is clarifying the Tower, which includes the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. And so this is another example of how you do the inner work and you get the external reward. But understand, we're not doing the work explicitly for the external reward. Oh, no, honey. We're doing the work to be the better version of ourselves that we can be, a better version of ourselves, so that we can grow and evolve and manifest cool things. And it seems, overall energy with the Three of Wands, that you are doing so. Like I've been saying all week, like we've been saying all week. Well, you're well on your way. I mean, wasn't yesterday's session, was it yesterday? We talked about you reaching a serious level of balance this week. This is another example. This is excellent, guys. Congratulations. I'm gonna finish this with a oracle card for the week. No, never mind. Okay. Oracle. Feeling generous, feeling festive. We've had a good week. Let's get a closing oracle. This is the Crystal Mandala. This has been like my favorite deck since I started reading here on YouTube. All my OGs know I've used this deck all the time for the last 5 years. Is it been 5 years now? Something like that. Anyway, closing message. Ooh, there it goes. Beautiful. We have card number 6, Angel Emitiel and Blue Obsidian, 333 on the counter. Ooh, wow. 6 is a multiple of 3. That's awesome. Revelation. That's a beautiful card. Look at that color. Oh, that's gorgeous. Six is a number of balance and harmony. Beautiful. We bring you the gift of revelation. There are times when not knowing is helpful. During such times, you develop unconditional trust in the universe. That trust will then support you in living your life according to your personal truths. You need a lot of trust in yourself and in life to live with such courage. Not knowing the bigger picture can help you stay focused on what you need to do right now. Rather than getting so excited about the future, you become distracted from the work that needs to be accomplished in the present moment, unwittingly slowing down your progress and delaying the very future you want to draw closer to you. However, there are other times when it is more helpful to know, to understand, to see. A particular truth will help you gain perspective, let go of the past, heal a wound, and feel safer, feel more loved, more empowered, and ready for the next step on your life journey. This is one of those times. We bring you the helpful gift of revelation now because you're ready to know a deeper truth. And there's only one way to find out what that truth is. What you gotta do? Gotta look at it, see it for what it is. Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords. A boop. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. I love you so much. And I look forward to connecting with you again very, very soon. Yes? Cool. Take care. Mwah!
Bye.